Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the first edition of the Jason Witten Broadcasting Recap Show, also known as the Tuesday Afternooner. I hope everybody out there is having a good-ass Tuesday. I'm home from work, so I know I'm having a kick-ass Tuesday. And right now, we're just here to kick back, relax, and watch a little foosball, talk a little foosball. All right, so we're here to talk recaps. All right, I don't write things down, I spew things out. So if you don't know, now you know. My people that are new to the football league and haven't ever been in a baseball league, just know you got set 16, 15 more weeks looking at this mug every Tuesday afternoon. So those new guys out there, welcome. Welcome Billy Baseball, new to the football league, not new to the league in general. Welcome Marcus Allman, not new to the football, well, new to the football league, but not new to the fantasy sports group either. Had a big good day to Chris Barron. As we've all known, he's pretty much been done since the day he started playing fantasy football. And then to the former commish, taking some time off to himself. We all respect that. We all love him. And that's one A-Hard. He's going to be missed this year with his wonderful write-ups. And I'm hoping I can just be a shell of him and just do it just enough to keep you guys content. So I'm going to say it was badass first week back. Lot just amazingness in the fantasy football world. I love football. You love football. But one thing I don't like, Marcus, you don't have a picture of your team. As commish, it is my job to make sure that everybody's abiding by league rules. Get a picture of Stu Scott saved on a desktop, saved on a phone, and upload it by the end of the week. All right? It ain't that hard. You can do this. We need a picture of Stu Scott, plain and simple. Not some lame-ass Yahoo pre-made football helmet garbage. All right? So get it handled. Get it done now. Thank you. Going forward, I want to say a couple thank yous. Justin, thank you. Let's see, B-Hull, thank you. I think Billy, maybe even thank you. A couple other folks have already paid. If I didn't reference you by name, I appreciate it. I haven't had to hunt you down. We need payment by the end of this month. It is September 15th. You got half a month left to pay before your team gets locked. So get that money in or else B-Hull and Justin and everybody else is paid. They're going to take advantage of waivers. They're going to do what they got to do. And they're going to, B-Hull in particular, as we'll see, is probably going to take major advantage of this. All right, so without further ado, I'm not going to go into every matchup. I ain't got time for that garbage, all right? Some of us got lives to live. We don't got 25 minutes to sit here and look at my face and talk fantasy football up there, all right? So let's just go ahead and start. Week 1, most disappointing. Let's just get the crap out of the way first. And I'm talking about you, Chris Collinsworth. Chris Collinsworth, that was just a shit-ass opening weekend. I mean, what? You and good old JR, it was a toss-up back and forth. Like, who did I want to say was most disappointing? But it was you, man. You loved your two running backs. You loved your quarterback. And seemed to be a dream situation for you. That dream turned into a nightmare rather quickly. Like, I didn't even know what happened. Before I looked up, Chris Collinsworth was down 30, 40, 50 points, and I didn't even know what to do. I thought you were going to do something this year, B. Grizzle, but sad in effect, you did not. So that was a pretty disappointing opening from you. You did have some positives going forward. JTT looking like to be the starter in Indy, and then Russell Gage, I mean, is he's a number 3 for the Falcons, that's for sure. We know that much. But is he going to propel you? Is he going to be that flex position? Is he going to get 100 yards every week? I doubt it. Second of all, JR, I'm disappointed in you, but just for reasons that would only be known to a few people, I'm disappointed you drafted a kicker and a defense in this draft. What was that? I'm used to you not having a kicker until 6 minutes before kickoff of week 1. You've had a kicker the entire time. And look at your team. It is not a typical Jay Grant championship caliber team. Well, last year in our league wasn't either. But I've seen it with my own 2 eyes that you're a championship caliber man. All right. 40 points of defeat's not a good way to get the week started, gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say there. I mean, if you go back and look at the stats, Collinsworth only lost by 16 to an underachieving Neil Everett, but Cody and Boomer Esiason just laid the verbal smackdown on JR on the fantasy football field. So JR is Chris Collinsworth, pretty damn disappointing. 2 pretty good damn announcers, though. All right, most surprising, Stu Scott. You didn't have a picture of yourself, so I was a little confused. Let me look back here. No, excuse me, it's not a purple football helmet. It's a blue football helmet with a red background. Red and blue make purple, so you can assume I'd make that mistake. But most surprising, I mean, for someone who was just crucified and just belittled throughout the draft by certain people. You put up 134 points with no defense. Not a team defense. Your defensive players are I don't even know if they're real players, if they even exist. They accumulated 0 points, maybe 3 points between the three of them. That was pretty embarrassing. And that's probably about it. You have 3 warm bodies that touch a football field that aren't named Minka Fitzpatrick roaming around back there. You're going to be getting some points, and you're going to be doing all right. So, Sue Scott, that was the most surprising, but for a positive way. Most surprising in a positive manner. I'm real proud of you right there, Stu. Next. The over before it started matchup this week. I mean, when you look at the over before it started, Marv Albert, it was over at 1:36 p.m. Chris Carson had more receiving touchdowns in 2020 than he did in all of 2019. Russell Westbrook had 1 more incompletion than the rest of our league combined. All right, so he was damn near perfect. Chris Carson was whooping ass. DJ Metcalf's catching passes left and right in the second half. So, Anthony, I'm sorry, bro, but Marv Albert, it was over before it even started. Ryan Mart, he just relishes the opportunities to sit back and whip your ass recently, and I don't know what else to say. Look at that right there. That's what we're going to be talking about here momentarily, those Green Bay Packers. You wait and see. But Anthony, just going forward, your team's going to be all right. You were projected. Yahoo said you had the best draft, and if we all know anything, Yahoo, well, they fuck up a lot. So I don't know. But Ryan, it was over before it started. I'm glad you got to enjoy the rest of your Sunday and didn't have to watch 10 consecutive hours of Red Zone channel on YouTube TV like I did. God, it was amazing. But anyways, going forward, best matchup of the week. Now, the best matchup of the week was an easy call for me because you had Brian Collins and you had Peppers Brooks. 2 fantastic announcers in their own right. And at some point, Sunday night, Monday afternoon, I know Brian Collins is screaming, boom, there goes the dynamite. Because he's thinking he's going to pick up a dub. He's up 35 points, looking at Flash's roster of players saying, Corey Davis or A.J. Brown rather, Juju might not do anything. I might have a chance. I should probably ice it up. So I'm thinking, about to be 1-0, 152 points. Sounds pretty good, right? Wrong. Peppers Brooks, Juju with 2 TDs. Then you had then A.J. Brown, even though he didn't do much, got just enough. Ease him on up there and get Peppers at 160. But that matchup you could watch all night long because going into the nightcap, all Flash needed was to get some points out of A.J. Brown, and he got the little bit of points he needed. So good job to you, Flash. B. Collins, good job keeping it close. We know you're going to have a pretty solid team this year from someone that loved their draft as much as you did. I know that's about to transpire. The last thing I want to talk about, though, is the team I like way more than I should. The team I'm like, oh, damn, that team is going to be legit this year. I'm talking about B-Hole, and I'm talking about Craig Kilborn. All right, and I'm not talking about CBS-style Craig Kilborn on the Late Night Show, which was pretty solid in its own right. I'm not talking about, anything other than ESPN. I can't even think of my favorite movie with Will Ferrell in it right now. I'm so brain dead right now. I apologize. Old school, thank you. We're not talking about Craig Kilborn old school. Sorry for wasting 20 seconds of your time trying to get that out. We're talking about Craig Kilborn from the ESPN days when he was legitness. And that team right there, just another, wow, team that loved his draft, and you can see why. Could have had over 170. Aaron Rodgers is clearly, Tom Brady throwing that pick 6. Aaron Rodgers is clearly on just a big FU tour to everybody. He wants to shove it up at Green Bay. He wants to shove it in everybody that's doubted him, especially up in Jordan Love right there. And this year, Aaron Rodgers could very well be the MVP. Might only have a handful of interceptions. Hopefully he stays healthy for B-Hole's sake. I don't know. But that team, Devontae and him, Bill O'Brien must have found the fountain of youth down there for Ponce de Leon because David Johnson turned that clock back to 2016, and I was damn impressed with everything that B-Hole brought in week 1. So a team that really loved his draft and came through in the clutch, really kicked ass. I'm impressed, and I like that team, B-Hole, and that angers me. That angers me. For someone's like, I just made my donation. Well, is this our new aw shucks sumbitch right here? I hope not. The only thing I say is go Georgia Tech. Go Georgia Tech. All right, so before I leave, though, I want to give us. So I'm going to keep doing what our old commish did. He provided power rankings in every one of his cups of Joe or morning afters, Monday morning quarterback, Tuesday morning quarterback, and that's a tradition I'd like to carry on. So it's nothing more fun than quickly rating 12 teams based upon my simple feeling in that spur of the moment. Yahoo helped me out a little bit, my eyes helped me out a little bit, and my heart helped me out none. So, in number 12, Chris Collinsworth. I already said you're the most disappointing. We've talked about fantasy football for 8 straight hours in the vehicle, it seemed like. And you were so hyped, and you came in so flat. 105 points, just looking like shit. So you're at number 12. Number 11, I'm talking about JR. Good old JR. JR, also, just a garbage intro to the week. 113 points, still a little bit more than Chris Collinsworth. Picked up a loss. I expect him and Excalibur, Cody Rhodes, kind of Tony Schiavone, to talk it all over and get that stuff figured out. Next up, Stu Scott. You're going to stay on this list low until A, you get a picture of your helmet. You know what? You should have been 12 to begin with. I'm going to rescind that. Stu Scott, bring your ass back to last. I don't care if you scored 134 points. You don't have a picture of Stu Scott. You're fucking last. All right, so Chris, you get to be 11th. JR, you get to be 10th. And I'm not talking about Stu Scott anymore. Number 9, Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller, Chicago Bears. The Bears and Dennis Miller. Love the witty commentary. Love that bitch-ass hater, Billy football right now. And I got to say, you're number 9 right now, looking to move on the up and up. Number 8, Neil Everett. Picked up a victory, the lowest ranked player in the rankings who actually got a victory this week due to the fact it was only 125 points. There's more to be on the table from Neil Everett. Can he find those points going forward? Number 7, we're going with Marv Albert. Marv Albert, still like your team. You're up from number 7th. Yahoo says you're 9th. So clearly the coach's poll knows a little bit better. I expect much bigger things and better things from Marv going forward. He won't always face a Seahawk-led attack. Number 6, we're going with B. Collins, the highest one-loss team in our rankings right now, which could pay dividends later down the road. B. Collins, looking like a team, like I said, he loved his draft. He's got good pieces, had a lot of points left on the bench. I think he's going to be a quality team going forward. Former champion last year. I don't know if we recall this. He was the league's Super Bowl champion. He barely recalls it. I barely recall it, but it happened. Number 5, we're going with Boomer. Boomer Esiason. I just don't have a lot of faith in some of the players that you have. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you scored 150-some points, 160 points, but I just don't have a lot of faith in those players. Number 4, SVP. I make the videos. I can be wherever I want. Number 3, Peppers Brooks. Peppers, I bet, expected to be a little bit higher, but I don't have to. Looking at Ben Roethlisberger last night, looking at that Steelers offense, like, the Giants are not. Here you go, Flash. Look at this great defense being played right here by your Atlanta Falcons. The Giants are not a defensive juggernaut, and for most of that game last night, Ben was on the run. James Conner couldn't get Ish going, so I just got to say, I'm not totally in love with your team yet. I've seen those players in your squad before. It is what it is. Number 2, John Madden. Rymart barely talked you up, but did say you kicked Anthony's ass, which I know you love. So, John Madden, you're number 2. You got a great squad. I'm looking forward to facing you and hopefully taking you down a peg. And that leaves number 1 with the team, with the man on FU tour. When you got a quarterback as angry as Aaron, there's nothing that I see is going to stand in his way. So, going forward, it's going to be a dogfight the rest of the year. Everybody get your things cleaned up. We got waivers opening tomorrow at 3:23 in the morning. You should have some new players on your team. I will see you next week. Until then, just imagine I was Chris Berman. Whoop! Whoop! Look, he's going rumbling. Here we go. Up. Driving, diving. Oh, touchdown. See you next week.